Finally, from the Farney Automotive Sports Desk, about a month ago, we brought you the story of Central High football coach Justin Garza, battling Hodgkin's lymphoma and searching for a bone marrow transplant. Recently, the 38-year-old spoke to his team about mental toughness and grit, personality traits he would certainly understand.
Today, I want to talk a little bit about the mental game. Some of you guys are always wondering why I am pushing you guys a certain way or why certain things are important to me. Is your character has a higher outcome, determining outcome than everything else. Some of the most talented guys I've coached have never actually even played in a game. Talent is your floor and character is your ceiling to see how high you can go. We're going to develop 3 things from you guys. We're going to develop your skill set. This is stuff that we do on the field. Okay, and then we have the mindset. This is what a lot of people overlooked. And then the environment. I am constantly trying to make our environment better. Positive thinkers. That's the environment. Okay, so that's where you guys are going to grow in. It's like the soil for you guys to grow. 2 things that determine success. One of them is called self-discipline. The other one's called grit. How many people don't do what you know you should do? I should have not eaten McDonald's, which I just did right now, right? All those things that we know that we shouldn't do, that's self-discipline. And then grit. Well, you got all these little excuses that people use, and it just takes you from your goal. A lot of you guys want something, but you don't want it bad enough. So you guess what? You quit on it because other things are easier. West Point, number 1 determining factor who succeeds in the West Point Military Academy is grit. The ability to stick to something even though you're distracted. If you don't write your goals and you don't see them every day, you'll forget about them. You'll get distracted. If you put your goals on the mirror where you brush your teeth every day, you'll remember. As a society, we do a bad job of seeing all these people that are successful on TV. We all think that was easy. It's incredibly hard. There's always a price to pay for what you want, okay? Sometimes that price is very painful. There's always a price for something. You got to pay it ahead of time. That's why people aren't successful. That's why people lack discipline and grip, because they don't want to pay the price to do it. How many of you guys have seen someone who was just kind of a slappy, and all of a sudden you see them a year or 2 later and they're all growing up and they're super disciplined, they live their lives a lot different? You guys all know people like that? They became motivated, okay? These 3 things, being in charge of things yourself, autonomy, being good at something, and belonging, these are what keeps you motivated. Mastering others is a strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Okay, it's easy to tell other people what to do. Like me, I could coach you guys and I could do all these things, but if I didn't live what I told you guys, I would not be mastering myself. So for me, when I said stand for more, and I tell you guys to do more, okay, I have to do the same thing too. That's why I started the donor drives. That's why I started going on television telling people about this. Why? Because I would expect the same thing out of you.
He's quite a young man. I've known him since he was 5 or 6 years old. His dad was my dentist. He's since retired, and it's just amazing to see what a great role model he's grown up to be.
Yeah, and it was about a month ago that we first started talking about this, and I went and talked to a bunch of different coaches in the area and people that knew him, and I mean, it was awesome. People just went for 10 minutes talking about what a guy he was, and it isn't often that you come across these people that just unanimously, that people are inspired by them. And so what he's doing is he was talking about this stand for more, and he's got these bone marrow drives. And with the high school season starting this Friday, there are a bunch. They've got maybe a dozen in the next 2 weeks between Central and a couple of the other schools around here and at Fresno State. They're having these bone marrow drives, trying to find a transplant potentially for him or really for anyone with this disease. So that's where we'll have that on our website, a list of all the places that you can go.
Great.
And you don't even necessarily lose blood. It's a cheek swab, to see if you're a potential match.
It takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Hopefully he will find some. All right. Thank you, Nick.